This is the yoga of action. The third chapter is really, for me, everything gets down to action. What we do or what we don't do. What is aligned, what is not aligned. So in a practical term, your lived life is a assemblage of actions. Among them are those that are aligned with your purpose for participating with me or my programs or the Washoe Valley program. And there are parts that are not aligned. And discovering those, taming those, meeting them, coming into relationship with them to recognize how they are shaping not only what you do or don't do, they're shaping how you interpret what happens. It shapes the paradigm of your viewing that gives value to or doesn't give value to what is actually happening. Great strategy of that pattern is you have a significant spiritual experience and you dismiss it, or you don't recognize it as that and think you need some kind of medication, or you want it to go away. And of course, that's ignorance, and you can't control that. You can't help that. So it's really a grace that an awakening can come, and we can be there to appreciate it. But it's a greater grace when we consistently start taking action aligned with the opportunity that comes with a spiritual awakening, and to cease taking actions that are not. Of course, that's a broad summary. Each one of you, it's unique. Each one of you is different. But when people come to my programs, one of the reasons we do the review is to see where people are in their own maturation of the unfolding of that divine possibility that spiritual awakening points to. And those that come to Washoe Valley, other than the ones that come for visitors, those that I invite to come here, I am seeing a potential for people to go into a relationship with their true nature, their divine nature, more than they can see for themselves, almost always. And it's just potential. Or it's possible. Some are potential. The potential has to become a possibility. Some is a possibility, and all it has to do is become an actuality. This arena, this particular program, this place where people come and spend the rest of their life, in principle, where you give up all that you've lived so that you can be here and make this your life. Those of you who are here with that level of commitment, that level of alignment, have the greatest possibility of all who come here. It is with that complete giving over that we align ourselves with the truth of our awakening and begin to continuously and steadily expand in our ability to shift our relationship with existence and to become a more and more effective instrument and channel of the particular Sat force that comes through me. And then I opened the book to another page. I can't help myself. One was good. This other one was better. And it's from, I believe it's chapter 4. And the title of it is Staying in the Fire. Because once we start changing our nature with our actions, we start coming into the grim responsibility of burning that in us that is still binding us and limiting our ability to be aligned with our spiritual possibility. Of course, chapter 4 follows chapter 3, so that's the yoga of knowledge. So what's the knowledge? It's the recognition of the truth that's come, that is becoming more and more undeniable. Here in this world, there's nothing more powerful to purify the consciousness than knowledge. This knowledge is realized automatically in the course of time when one pursues this path of yoga sincerely. This is perhaps one of the greatest assurances of the Bhagavad Gita. If you're burning, you're doing it right. If you're in the fire of recognition of what in you that's still limited, still bound, still looking for the back door, still resisting, still hanging on to something it's clinging to, by staying in the fire, you're dissolving that structure. It's the greatest assurance of the Bhagavad Gita. This knowledge is realized automatically. It takes time. It takes time. It takes time. Years, not months. Perhaps, and matter of fact, the right alignment is the rest of your life, because no matter what happens, there's still more. The individual level, at the collective level, or at the universal level. This paper mache construct is not just of your own making. It has been made from thousands and thousands of years of matter developing and evolving, becoming more and more sophisticated and complex in the process until the human form was created. The debris of this process is inherited through our ancestors, plus whatever we add to it this lifetime. So it takes time to be undone. This process of persevering in the process, staying on track, even when there is no apparent hope or evidence that we are getting there, is the key. That which is looking for evidence is the part of yourself that's being undone. There is no way of registering evidence in a paper mache mind of the truth of itself. Paper mache minds can only keep track of paper mache things. So when you are in a state of truth, there is nowhere for this evidence to be stored, to be remembered. The paper mache thing is being burned, even if it could. It is a completely different order than your paper mache existence. Persistent effort without attachment to any outcome, even when there is no evidence or even when there is contrary evidence, is the secret to full transformation, full realization. It's a great book. I recommend it heartily to anybody who's really serious about the spiritual path. And this is your work here. Those of you who are part of the community or staying here for a period of time, your opportunity is to stay on the edge of this, to keep away opportunity. So when you find yourself sneaking out the back door, you recognize you're going out the back door. You close all options. No retreat. This is Stalingrad. One rifle among 5 of you. You're probably going to die. And if you try to run away, they'll shoot you anyway. That's the opportunity. When you've not lived a committed life, when you lived the life that followed your whim and your inclinations and what's convenient and what's comfortable, then you have to discover how to pull forward this resolve, this gritty determination, this committed part of you, which is in fact the supreme in you. Once you start being moving in touch and aligning your actions with this, it won't be you doing this anymore. You'll burn away. And there will be no need of a back door because there's no walls. There'll only be this and this and this and this. And it's all truth. It's all God in different forms of expression, different forms and layers and levels of unfolding. If you're not doing that, or at least wishing, willing, trying, praying to do that, then you're wasting your time, your embodiment, the remaining time you have on this planet. And if you don't know that, that's because your paper mache mind is still telling you otherwise. Sat Shree told me I'm eternal. I can do it next life, life after, 100 lives from now, hell. Whatever kind of backdoor you want to create. But it's a waste of the opportunity. Right? You got a realized master who knows who he is, knows who you are, who speaks English, who's given a very clear set of instructions, who actually tells you what you can do to align yourself with your highest possibility and what you need to stop doing so that that can happen. Talk about grace. Talk about swimming in the milk bowl, being a cat, drowning in the cream. It will too pass. The grace will withdraw. I assure you that this manifestation has a time limit. It's only going to be for a period of time. And I assure you, each of you who are here in this room and each of you who are watching this, this is your time.